All right, boom, we're back. Squeeze the Neck podcast today. Beckenham, right side of the river, wrong side of London. We'll figure it out as we go. With my new mate, Reon Wong. I said that right?
Yeah.
My guy, top
Come
man.
on,
Thanks for
come
doing
on.
this, mate. Thanks
No,
for having
no
me
problem.
down. So we got put in touch initially by peer pressure, as we said.
Yeah.
We've got other mutual friends, which
Yeah,
we'll
yeah,
probably
yeah.
list off as this goes, because that's how we go.
Yeah,
But
man.
before we get into anything, mate, firstly, I want to thank you because you're only a week out from a fight.
Yeah.
So I appreciate time's tight. So thank you very much for doing this. But before we get into any of that and the current situation of what's going on, who you're about to bash up, tell us who you are.
Yeah, so I'm Reon, B3, Wong. I'm ISK British, European, and I got world title in 2 divisions. I've got CFS world title, and I'm going over to boxing now, 5-0, going to be 6-0 next week.
Damn, so extensive background. So it's not just like he's had a few K1 fights.
Yeah,
World
yeah,
champion, you said in there.
Yeah,
Did you
yeah,
say
yeah.
2 different weights as a world
Yeah,
champion?
yeah,
And
2
what weights were they, mate?
Both at cruiser, so 85 and 90.
Right, I was going to say, because you got one of them frames, right, where you're
Yeah.
tall and long, so you could
Yeah.
probably go up weights as you go.
Yeah.
Has that always been sort of part of the journey?
Yeah, so at the beginning, at the early stages, I used to fight up to 95.
Right.
And then it was like 95 plus, etc.
Okay.
And
Big
then-
boys.
Yeah, but then also I was walking around, I used to walk around like 90, 94, 95, 96 sometimes. But then once I started actually understanding nutrition, and as it got more, like the level got higher, you start to realize your training increases more, and then your weight just naturally kind of
Right.
fluctuates a bit lower. So I was fighting, then I started going 85 to 90, as my coach at the time was like giving away too much at 90, at 95, especially when we was fighting like people coming down from 100 and all the whatever.
Right.
And to be honest, I feel better lighter.
Do you? Yeah.
Naturally, yeah.
Do you have trouble? Do you cut much weight, or are you sort of walking around near your weight?
So when I was fighting K1, I used to cut quite a bit, especially getting down to like 85s.
Right.
And that. Because as I say, I'd walk around sometimes the heavier end of 90.
Really? Okay.
Once I started using a nutritionist and everything. But then now, boxing, I'm walking around pretty much at my weights now. Like,
That's
so
interesting.
I box 90, minus 90, and I walk around maybe 92, 93.
So it's easy, it's nothing, is it?
Yeah.
You're there basically. And what was that come under cruiserweight
Yeah,
in your
cruiser.
organisation, right? So
Yeah.
how tall are you? You're a tall fella, right?
6'4".
So in terms of like walking around
Yeah.
close to weight like that, obviously it sounds obvious saying it out loud, but it's
Yeah.
obviously a benefit in it because
Yeah,
like we all know
yeah.
people that would be, you 8 days out from a fight now?
Yeah.
Like people that stage sometimes, and we're not exaggerating, sometimes people are 10 kilos over still, aren't they?
No,
and fucking
100%.
sweating.
Even to be honest, I've done it before. So I took a fight at 82.
Right. Oof.
I went for a WBC and Muay Thai, and I was thinking, alright, cool. It was a great idea in my mind. I had this plan, and I was going to do all this stuff, and I was thinking it's only extra 2 kg, 3 kg to cut. And I actually took that fight. I was 104 at the time because it was like end of the year, first fight of the new year. I was thinking, yeah, cool, it's nothing, I'll be all right. And I ended up cutting 22 kg. Fight week, I ended up cutting 13 kg.
Insane, isn't it?
Brother, it was a bad idea.
Yeah, no shit.
So my coach now, obviously I'm with Dan and Rico, you just met. But yeah, after that he was like, you are not agreeing, no fight, like, yeah. Because it was just like, in my mind it was a great idea.
Yeah.
So listen, I'm still learning on this journey. So I hadn't really been in the game. I haven't even been in it 10 years yet.
Right,
Do you
and
know
you're
what
already
I'm saying?
multiple-time world champion and stuff,
Yeah.
so it's obviously working out.
Yeah.
But like, for context for anyone who
Yeah.
speaks in different sort of metrics, 13 kilos, some people might be going, don't say that much. 13 kilos, about 30 pounds, just
Yeah.
over 2 stone. So we're talking big boy weights to be
Yeah,
dropping,
yeah,
aren't we?
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
This ain't no
100%.
joke, and like, you shouldn't be losing that in that
Yeah.
amount of time, should you?
No, and anyone that's cut with like that's fought for WBC or certain federations will understand they do check-ins.
Yep, right.
So I'm like 14 days out, got to do a check-in, and it was Ramadan, so I was fasting, and bro, it was just bad, bro. It was
Bad situation. But at the same time, it's a life experience, isn't it?
Yeah,
So it
yeah,
probably
yeah,
serves you, not for that fight, but
Yeah.
down the road.
But then obviously I learnt from it, because then going into the fight, like one thing I pride myself on is my engine and my work rate. And going into that fight, we done the warm up, and I literally said to the team, I want to go home. I was done. I was like, I'm cooked. And shout out Kieran Shanahan as well, because yeah, like it was a fight where you don't go in like not 100% and on your A game.
Right.
You can't. It's not, it's, you know. And the other thing as well, you know, anybody I step in the ring with, I want to give them enough credit to know that I'm bringing my full, like,
Right.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, of course.
Because it's like, we step through them ropes, we might not step out.
Yeah,
We
it's
don't
true.
play this game, innit?
Yeah.
Like, none of these sports. I know they say in boxing, you know, you don't play boxing, but the fight game in itself, one shot can change everything.
That's it. And with that as well, like, you'll know this as good as anyone. As you step up levels, like, it's so close, isn't it? Like, you could be having a
100%.
shit day, a bad weight cut, all that kind of stuff. And like you said, it's not just, it ain't a football game, mate. You don't go home at the end of it all okay. You might have severe, like,
100%,
life-changing stuff going
100%.
on.
And you got to remember, like, with the other sports, you might be having a bad game, but you got 10 other teammates to drag you through.
That's it.
We have a bad day in the office. That's it. You could have a perfect camp, everything, and then you get in the ring and something's been off, or you ain't done something, you left a stone unturned, or you might have neglected something somewhere. It all unravels, innit? And unfortunately, in this game, that could be your life, or as you say, it could be like life-threatening, or.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. And we'll get back to the fight game, obviously,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
current
yeah.
events and stuff. But let's go back a bit further, mate. Like, where are you from originally? And tell us about life before you got in fighting.
So I was born in Roehampton.
That is the right side of London for anyone listening that pays any attention.
Yeah. So I grew. I was born over there. Single mum. My dad was around, but he wasn't with my mum at the time. He's like being in and out. My older brother, older sister. I got 5 brothers and 2 sisters, but like it was good. It was good. Like, my mum had done everything she could to provide and stuff. And obviously, she tried to give me a better life than what came from my brothers and sisters. Unfortunately, yeah, my family was not on the best side of the law. Yeah. So the normality of the door coming off and certain things became like the norm to me. So I understood what to do. So then, we moved from Roehampton, ended up in Croydon and Fulton Heath. Went to school over there, so grew up in Fulton Heath. Again, it was alright. Obviously, outside, linked up with my pals and everything, and then from there we ended up like getting into gangs, and I think by 17 I was on my first firearm charge. I was away, came home, that was 2007, then came home 2008, end of 2008, got 9 years for false imprisonment and robbery. I then came home 2013, by 2014 got recalled for a load of assaults, and then that recall, I think, sparked a change in me, because like there was a lot of politics around that recall, because I actually didn't do what they said that I'd done. So
Right.
a lot of people got their heads caved in and whatever, and got punched up. And to be honest, the situation that happened, not to justify, but you know, you fuck around and find out, innit? So,
Right.
but unfortunately, the people that I was around and the situation, it escalated a bit, and then so the people got done up, and then I had a lot of resentment and stuff that was building up in me. But then, you know, being away on that one, I met a lot of good people as well, and that's when I decided, like, yo, I need to do something different, because I can't have the same normality for my children. At the time, it was my son, my eldest, Reon. I couldn't have the same normality for him and for my family that I had.
Right.
You know, prison visits and all this kind of
Right,
stuff.
of
'Cause
course.
growing up, for me, it was like you go school, you go secondary, you go college, you go uni, you go gel, you go work, it was almost like part of the curriculum. Like,
Right.
So I've been doing prison visits since I was like, I don't know, 3 weeks, 3 months old. I don't know what it
Wow.
was.
So yeah, it's just normal, isn't it? Do you know what I mean?
So it's like I just didn't want that to happen. And you know, sometimes in life you got to be the change that you want to see, right?
Right.
So then I remember I said to my missus, yo, I'm gonna fight. It's always been like I've always wanted to do it. A lot of people around me have been involved in it, and I just never had the discipline to be like, I'm gonna dedicate to this. I was just so busy, like always defending others and just outside on bullshit, basically.
Right. But I'm assuming from, like you said, you hadn't been in fighting in terms of the sport when younger. But from what you've just described, I'm assuming you ain't no stranger to violence all your life, right?
No, like, I've always been like involved in like violence is normal.
Right. And how old are you, mate?
I'm 36.
36. So we're similar in age.
Yeah.
A bit older than me. We'll put that out there. But
No,
like,
no,
but jokes
yeah.
aside, like you said, going back, yeah. Well, hang on. Easy now.
Go on.
But like from like places like where you grew up, like Roehampton, like especially back then, we're talking 90s, isn't we? Really, they're rough places, aren't they? Do you know what I mean? They were places you didn't want. Like as a kid, you didn't necessarily be allowed to go to on your own. Do you know what I mean? Like,
and I mean, I was playing out on the estate from. Like, it was normal to us.
Yeah, of course,
it was
right.
normal, do you know what I'm saying? So fight, all that stuff. You go home and then sometimes you've had a scrap or whatever it is. It's like, how did you do that?
Right.
Like, do you know what I'm saying?
Culture was different back then, wasn't it? It was very different.
100%. And like I say, like, growing up, the environment that I was in, you definitely wasn't a stranger to violence.
Yeah, but at the time, it's like, I think a lot of people say a similar thing of like, when you're a kid, you almost like don't realise it, right? It's not like a poor me situation, I'm assuming, right? You're just, this is just life.
Yeah, 100%. Like, obviously, look, especially growing up with like, when your mum trying to play all the roles as well, and then there's the pressures. It's only when, like me being a parent now, that I can understand, shit, that must have been hard. Because now I get some of the things that I was told as a parent, repeating the same things to my kids, you know? So yeah, it's like, obviously the generations are different now as well. It's soft now, like, you know, you don't smack your kids but obviously then you get hiding, isn't it?
I would say that's probably the biggest change from sort of our generation, because our age range, we're probably the last generation where it's acceptable to be in Sainsbury's and your mum give you a beating for no apparent reason.
Shout of it.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? And no one bat an eyelid.
Do you know? Whereas now it's like, everyone's sitting on the phones and recording.
You'd be on the news now if you beat your kid up in Sainsbury's.
100%. And do you know what? Like, as much as I can kind of look back and say, all right, cool. For me now, it was more the unanswered. So when things happen, but there's no explanation behind it. So I don't actually understand why these things are happening. I just know that, okay, violence was an answer.
Yeah, right.
Right? So, you know, you do this, you get hiding.
Yeah.
So then as you grow up, and then you become like zero tolerance to certain things.
Yeah.
So then you're getting into altercations, and then rather than, you know, being able to speak through it or whatever it is, or, you know, like simmer it, you're just like, fuck it, let's go.
Yeah, but again, that was a sign of the times, right? If someone crossed the line on you, and I'm talking from like primary school, I'm not talking like heavy duty. Someone crossed the line on you, said the wrong thing, like there you go, that was the acceptable response, and it was the only response, right?
100%.
You know what I mean?
Listen, there's like even a few of my pals, like, we were always in school together, and we've had fights, we had scraps. Like, you keep, and then obviously as you get older, things get a bit more serious. It starts to escalate, and it's knives and then so it's like I've been stabbed a few times. Like, I've been on both sides of most things. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, of course.
So it's like but then the beauty in growing up and maturing is that you realise that there's other answers to things and other ways of dealing with things, you know? So yeah, like now, since I think I started training martial arts. I walked into a Muay Thai gym February 2017, and I can probably count on one hand, if that, the amount of altercations that I've had, and none of them have gone further than just a verbal dispute and just get sorted.
Yeah.
Because now it's like, you can see who's a threat. You can read situations so much better. Mm-hmm. Like myself, anyway, definitely. Like, and I just don't want to risk nothing.
No.
I just like people. Like now, I just rather just like, cool, sweet mate.
Well, mate, listen, at the stage you are now with the world titles under your belt, you kick someone in the head, this is a big problem, isn't it?
Oh,
you know what I mean? This is not like it would have been like, and you can disappear and no one knows nothing. Like, hey, listen, you get found out, big 6'4" geezer who's been a world champion, kick someone in the face. We got a huge problem here. And I knew someone. I'll keep it vague, but I knew someone who was, I won't say what martial art either, but a good level of a martial art, decent. Ended up having an altercation. Something happened and he went away for quite a while off the back of it. And it wasn't really his fault from what I understand. I wasn't there, but you get what I'm saying, right?
Course,
keeping 100%. It vague. But, you know, things happen out there. And like, I've found from being around a lot of people that have been in prison from through boxing mostly from back in the day. Like, sorry, they're not in prison from boxing. People I know from boxing that have been in prison and whatnot. But they... once they get to a certain level, it chills out. Like, they seem like the focus has to change, doesn't it? You know?
100%. But you know what, Once you let go of your ego, you realise that a lot of shit is bullshit. You know, and a lot of the time, a situation, all right, what am I gonna do? We get into like a road rage, for example, just hypothetically speaking, someone flipping giving it, hey, I can get out of your car. I'm just like, bruv, let's just make it home. Like, I get out of the car, one of us don't make it home, the other one don't make it home because they're going to be in the station.
Both
one might be in the hospital, one's going to be in the station. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, over what?
Yeah. And road rage is funny because you see people, suddenly tough guys in cars, aren't they? How tough are people when they're driving?
Listen, it's crazy. So now my thing is just like, sweet man. I try to conduct myself with respect to everyone. There's a certain etiquette that I try to lead my life by now, and I know if you're trying to be disrespectful, then you're really taking me for an idiot. And listen, it's not to say that I'm here to be like, oh, you know, I'm going to turn the other cheek and I'm going to tolerate it. Like obviously there's still a level of thing, but there's no like bullshit and if it's serious, but majority of the time it's just some bullshit.
Yeah, and that's what it is. And I think a lot of that, as much as the martial arts side of things, part of that just becomes maturing, doesn't it? Like, at a certain point you just go, mate, you're a little fat bloke in a fucking Fiat Panda. What's going on here? 100%. Do you know what I mean? But like when you got into fighting, you said February 17, was it?
February
so you're fairly late in life, because a lot of people, I'm assuming at that point would have gone, well, maybe not to you, but like a lot of people would probably have thought it was a bit late, mate.
Listen, I would tell you, I was in Coldenley, and those that was with me, no, I was on the wing and I said, yo, listen, because a lot of people have always said to me, like, you know, you should jump on this fighting thing, you should do this fighting thing, you should do. I was like, yes, I ripped from boxing and this and that, and you know, shout out Sibs, Adam Hart. There's loads of people that I can list off here that's been around it and been in it, and always said, like, you know, you've got natural potential to do something, and I'm just like, yeah, but in my mind I'm like, I just want to make money, I want to do this, I want to do that, these other things, right? But then I said, you know what, I've always been passionate about it. From a kid, wrestling, watching wrestling, you know, boxing, like K1, it was always like seeing Badr Hari and Saki and all that, like old school, the golden era. But I just never really thought it was like a career choice.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, of course.
And I was never really encouraged. Like growing up, it was always football.
Right.
Yeah, go play football. Your big brother plays football. You should play football. This one plays football. There was more of that, right? It weren't like, you know, go find a local boxing gym or whatever it is.
Right.
And then, so I just thought, you know what, I need to do something. And I remember I was speaking to like one of the, like an older guy from my area, and he's been in it for a minute. One of the originals in this fighting thing, and And I remember speaking to him and he said, yo, you should just do it, man. Why not? I said, you know what? Fuck it, man, I'm going to go for it. And then I remember I said it, I was in the cell, we was all on the wing wall. And then I said, yo, boom, so I'm going to do this fighting thing. And a couple of people laughed. Because they're thinking, right, you're like 27, 26, whatever. And I said, nah, bro, trust me. And then a couple of the others was like, yo, bet, go, like, get it done. And I just stuck to my plan. I made a plan. I said, yo, like, when I get out, because I've always, so like training, I love training. You're not going to find many people that work harder than me or that are willing to. I refuse to be outworked, right? My work rate. And I knew that coming, like walking into a martial arts gym, it didn't matter how fit I was. When you come in and you got to do flipping 3 threes or 3-minute round, 2-minute round, and you're striking, it's a completely different fitness. Mm-hmm. You know, I can get out, I can run marathons, I can go do this, I can do it. But guy and hit pads for thingy or spar, they must blind out their ass. So I said, you know what, I'm just gonna have a base foundation. There's a general, like this, but the main thing I'm gonna bring is work rate. Mm-hmm. And I walked into the gym and I said to them, like, yo, listen, I dedicate my life to this. And I remember I shot at Kieran as well, because he's been with me, like he was there from day one as well. So, and I walked in and I remember he looked at me and he was like, to be honest, they done a seminar. They came into one of the jails.
In jail they come to seminar?
Yeah, so
really? Okay.
I was just talking about the fighting thing, then them lot came in, done a seminar, just talking about their journey.
And you was talking about fighting before this?
Yeah, like it was an idea.
It's funny how things work out, yeah?
Right. And then I said, all right, cool. So then I said, I'm gonna pull up to the gym. This is my old gym at the time, which was KO South. And yeah, I remember I linked Kieran there as well. And I said to him, I said, yo, and I remember he looked at me. You know, people walk into gyms and say, I'm gonna be a fighter. And then they get punched in the face or they have their first sparring and then they don't come back again. I remember I was meant to just do a session, one of the classes. And so if you see Biggs, he's probably about 130, 140 kg at the time.
Right.
And you see him and you think, this guy, but he can move. And he's strong, yeah? And he flipping hits like a truck, yeah? Pause, yeah? And I remember no one turned up for the class. So he's like, all right, cool, we'll do a one-on-one. I've only been in there like a couple of weeks or something. And he said, oh, we do a one-on-one. I said, yeah, sweet, man. He said, yeah, go on, like, go get your shin pads and stuff. So I'm thinking, all right, cool, like, we're gonna do some drills. I remember I turned around and he's like, put his shin pads on, thumb shield. I was like, should I get the pads? he's like, no, we're gonna spar. What, sauna?
Yeah.
I'm like, what?
Massage, is
yeah,
it?
I'm like, what's going on here? And he said, no, get in the ring. I said, oh. And I remember, yeah, I had a dead leg, yeah, from he was chopping low kicks, and I had no base, I had nothing at the, like, it just had heart in it.
Yeah, right.
And I was like, fuck. I had like 2 weeks, my leg was finished. And then, bro, I literally pulled out every day, still to the classes. I used to drop my son to nursery, go to the first class, rest, sleep there, do the next class, like all the class, all the way through to the afternoon. Then in the evening, Mrs. would get back, I'll go to work, I used to work nights, and then I was doing that for about 2-3 years.
And you're already a father at this point, you said, so you've got a son.
So I have my son.
And to be training like that, sleeping on the mat and doing the whole thing, coming back for another session, that's dedicated. And just to what you said there about like a lot of people come in the gym, don't they, and go, I'm going to be this and I'm going to... They do, but at the same time, I do think there's times where you see someone come in and says it and you look at them a bit different and you go, I think he might mean it, do you know what I mean? Even if he's wrong, he means it, whereas a lot of people 100%. Say it as like a gesture, do you know what I mean?
100%. Listen, I got clients that they start hitting pads and start getting good, and then they think, well, I'm gonna fight. Nah. So, one sec, I go get the gloves out, I go get the 18s out of the thing, and then I'm like, all right, cool, let's spar. They catch a body shot or get punched in the face, and then they're like, Best to stick to the.
Yeah. Well, I'm busy. I'm busy next Thursday.
Yeah. I've been there every day, but next week I'm busy all week. Yeah.
That time you said there's a fight. When was it? That day I'm busy.
That day, I'm busy. All month I'm going to be busy. That month.
Well, it's funny you said that. I think to me, other than being tired, which would be a third one, I guess. But there's two things I think in, especially striking, but martial arts, I'd probably say as a general from my experience, is like leg kicks and body shots. Yeah. Once someone gets a nice little leg kick, which you said you experienced, and a body shot, that's normally when light bulbs start going, oof. Maybe not for me.
I remember sparring and getting caught. I think it was Gavin at the time. He was about 50, 60 kg. I'd be exaggerating if I said he was more, but he was mustard. Yeah. Like he was on point. He was serious. I remember we were sparring, and mind you, at the time I'm about nearly 100 kg. Yeah.
Right, big man.
So we're sparring, and he spun and caught me with a body kick, and I said, that was sick. In my mind, I was like, oh shit. I went to step and my body just shut down. I said, what the fuck's going on? And he was like, just chill. And I was trying to get out, I was thinking, oh, hold on. And like, as I say, like I pride myself on making sure that I'm conditioned and all this kind of stuff, but I didn't understand fighting conditions. Right. Like there was certain conditions that I didn't. So aesthetically, you can always look, like people can look the part, but if you're not doing specific things for your sport, then it's no good.
And also I think a lot of that's efficiency as well as fitness, right? 100%. You can be as fit as you like, but if everything, you're going to be tired in 3 minutes anyway. You can't sprint for 3 minutes. But if you're chilled and floating around me and I'm trying to chase you, you could do that for hours.
I don't understand your breathing.
Yep.
So you're breathing out, you get caught. So yeah, and the thing with me is the more these things happen, it's like it fuels my fire. I'm fueled more. I'm like, all right, cool. So now I've got to improve. So next time, that's never going to happen to me again. And then yeah, man, I just submerge myself in it. I'm like the boffin in school. So if my coach tells me, yeah, I need you to go here, you're going to do 20 rounds, you're going to do whatever. I'm all right, cool. Yeah.
And I think that's what carries people through is that commitment to it, right? Where you get that kind of mindset. And it's not like, it is a tough guy thing, but it's not like a meathead tough guy thing. No. Whereas it's like, if you commit to something, it doesn't matter if I kick you in the body and it hurts. Do you know what I mean? You're going to be there anyway. Do you know what I mean? I think that goes a long way. And you see it, and especially see it, not so much in grown men like yourself, you see it a lot in sort of young men that are sort of going from a teenager boy 100%. To a man. You see that kind of switch, because I've mentioned him on here before. I don't know if you've heard of Omar Augustin, amateur boxer. So I don't know how old he is now. Omar, if this finds you, mate, I hope you're well. But he was in the club as like a 13-year-old-ish when I would have been sort of 19. So he's that kind of age range. But if you'd have watched him at the time, he was like an overweight kid, moaned and cried at everything, blah, blah. Anyway, fast forward, he's national champion, like a big, scary fucking animal of a guy on the GB squad, the whole deal. And it's like, you'd have never believed that until he got to that sort of, I don't know when it would have been 15, 17, whatever. And like, he's becoming that young man and he sort of changed, you know what I mean? Because he went through it.
Do you know what it is? It's like, everyone has their tipping point, right? So they get to a certain point. Now, there's some people that are so sick in the gym growing up and they're kids and they seem like they got all this potential. Then they get to like a certain age and then it's like, nah, they're burnt out.
Mate,
they've had enough, right? Or there's the others that it's like, it just goes into the next gear and then they just And I think it's with everything. Like for me, I think the blessing for me is like, although I walked into it late per se, I ain't got the mileage on the clock that's what a lot of these lot have got.
Yep.
So I feel fresh. I'm calm. I feel like I'm 20. I feel like I'm 20 odd.
Mate, and I tell you what, the older I get in terms of like looking at things, I feel like it ain't too late. You're always on time.
100%.
It's when it's meant to be for you. 100%. And I don't mean to sound like a hippie saying that,
no.
Everything for when it happens. But I believe there's a point in that.
1,000,000%. And do you know what it is? It's like, I know that if I walked in at an earlier stage of my life, I would have just completely fucked it all up. Right. I would have fucked it all up. Obviously, it could potentially have been different, but I believe I would have fucked it all up. And now, being where I am now, it's like, no, like you say, the time was right. My mindset was right. My dedication, my discipline, like all these things have aligned. So now it's like, I know that I can just, anything that I put my mind towards, I know that I'll get it done.
That's cool. And you're 36 now. Have you got a timeline that you want to pack up fighting, or do you not think like that?
I don't put pressure on anything, but I don't really want to have to. I don't want to have to keep doing it in my 40s and that, you know. Also, at the same time, I'm very much aware about exiting with all your faculties in place.
Yeah.
And like I say, because I haven't got the mileage that others have got, but still, you don't want to take too much damage and stuff like that. So.
Yeah.
And also, I just want to enjoy time with my family, man.
Well, it's funny you say that, right? Because I had a guy on recently, Paulo da Silva. Shout out Paulo.
Paulo's a G.
Do you know who he is? A little guy. But he's coming back.
Debut, isn't it?
He's coming back again.
Not making his debut,
he's come back, right?
Comeback.
45. He's going to fight. I think he said, if I'm butchering it, I think he's fought in 4 different decades. You know, 90s, 2000, blah blah blah. He's coming back. He's going to have another one. So shout out Paulo when he gets the win. But he's a multiple-time world champion, isn't he? Across 2 different sports. And he's when I'm sitting talking to him. Firstly, he's 45, but he looks about fucking 28 for starters. But also, it's like you're talking to him, and he's one of these cats that you just get the sense of that it's like he's doing it because he wants to, for no other reason. It's not money. It's not like he feels like he missed something or he's got to achieve. He's just, I'm sitting there talking to the man, and he's just like, he wants to fucking fight, you know. And to me, that has got to be the best reason to do it.
100%. Because the second that flame or that feeling is dwindled, step away, man.
Right.
It's not worth it.
Right.
Because, like, how much fighters do you know that had, like, a sick career, but then they're fighting because they have to? Not because they want to, because they have to, or because they feel like they have to.
Yeah.
And then you're up against someone that fucking wants to do it.
Yeah.
Now, they might not be necessarily better.
Yeah.
But because of that drive and that thing, that flame that they got, when it comes to them deep waters, you might think, I've had enough.
And it's situational too. I think even more than fighting for money. Because listen, if someone's got to fight for money, it's quite sad. But at the same time, listen, people's got to do what they got to do, right? Whereas it's like, I feel like when people are chasing something, like I'll give you an example. Who I think in boxing, from my opinion, is the best pound for pound boxer that's ever lived, Roy Jones Jr. Like he fought so far past his prime. And it's like, it doesn't seem like, from what's in the public eye anyway, it doesn't seem like it's a money thing. It doesn't seem like, it just seemed like it was almost like he was chasing one more. Do you know what I mean? One more sort of success. And like that doesn't end well, does it?
It's that addiction, isn't it?
It is, yeah. And it's hard to walk away in it. Like I think he was doing it since a young kid, right? Like, so for him to go, I don't box anymore, I think it's got to be tough.
100%. And a lot of this, like, I know for myself, a lot of training and everything is mental well-being.
Right.
It has helped me, like I say, like, obviously we've all been through things, everyone's got different coping mechanisms or whatever. For me, training just helps me process, it helps me just level.
I can agree with that. There's nothing like it, training, is there? There's nothing like that feeling of just kind of, almost like, again, at the risk of sounding like a hippie, where you can just sort of sit down after and accept everything is what it is. And we're 100%. Just, it's okay.
Like, even like everyone's on to me, yo, you run so much, you do this, and for me, it's just like I say, that processing time, I can just go for a run. I don't really say like, I'm gonna go for a 6K, 5K, whatever it is, but I'm just gonna just run. Might be 5K, might be 35K. Whatever it is, but I'm just processing, processing. And I always feel like so much better after. So even like my clients, I started a run club in lockdown, but due to that, that understanding like how much it helps me mentally. So then I've done something for the community, give back to the community, and it's been going strong since, like Run with Re. Yeah, man. Like, so the same thing like with my clients. One thing I get them to tap into is that mental fortitude. You know, Find Fitness. Dean and Taylor and Reese, they are dope at making people unlock that mental resilience.
It seems like that. When I sat down with Reese, he was talking. You very, very similar to a lot of people I've had on it, yourself included. You know, when you talk to someone and you can see it's not just I'll turn up and do 1,000 push-ups and I'm really fit. There's like the whole sort of mind-body connection, if you like, where it's like doing it.
There's method in their madness. Yeah, listen, like I've known them for some years. That's my brothers. We've been training since like lockdown onwards. Like, and then obviously they had their situations that was happening at the time. So there was like a gap where they weren't about,
right.
but I was still doing their workouts. With reason, they'll send me bits and I'll do bits.
That's cool, isn't it?
Yeah. Listen, like we're locked in, man. That's family, innit? So, and it's been beautiful to see where he's taken his brand now.
Right. You
know, and his community and the community.
Yeah.
Because, like, don't get it twisted, that's my community too.
Yep, right.
Because that's my family, you know what I'm saying? So it's been dope. And then again, I meet people like Pierre, and so it's like, it's banging. Especially in this place that we're at, this time that we're at now, is like, fitness is the new thing, innit? Yeah, the new fad, right?
Right.
But I'd rather people be like addicted to fitness and being healthier and better than out raving.
Of course,
and thinking, innit?
Exactly. I think as human beings, I mean, I think obsession with things is kind of a big part of a certain type of personality anyway.
100%.
So you might as well do something that's going to fucking benefit you, right?
Most of us got an addictive personality in some form or another. So it's just what you're gonna, like, pick your poison.
Right, and especially the type of person that wants to fight. Because like how many times in a day, and I know without even asking you, you're gonna say 100%, right? It's like, you've trained once, you've trained twice, you've trained 3 times, you're exhausted, you're dead. And then you think, fuck it, I'll do a bit more tonight. Do you know what I mean? I'll do one more because I feel like I can.
My coaches, no word of a lie, like they told me, like, slow down.
Yeah.
Like I have to be disciplined in my days not to train too much.
Right. Well, I mean, I'm catching you obviously a week out from a fight now, just over a week. So you're obviously going to be in shape now. Yeah. But from talking to you, I'm assuming you're a year-round trainer anyway. There's no time off. Do you know what I mean?
Ready.
Yeah.
I stay ready. Yeah. Like, I stay ready so I don't have to get ready. That's one thing with, like, anybody that knows me, anybody, like, I'm always like, because opportunity can come knocking, and I'm not gonna not be there because I need a mad camp or whatever. If it makes sense and my coaches are happy, I don't turn down fights.
Right.
I don't turn down opportunity. As long as the team's happy with it and it makes sense, I'm game. Like, whatever they say, when it's green lighted, I go, innit?
That's it, man. That's cool. Yeah. So, like, when we go back to sort of when you started fighting, would you say it was Muay Thai you first?
Yeah.
So, was it a choice to make Muay Thai, or was that just happened to be where you was at?
No, do you know what? I wanted to do K1.
Right.
I wanted to do K1 and Muay Thai, basically. Right. Like, I actually wanted to do K1 predominantly, but then I just ended up. I wanted to try Muay Thai originally, but then I just predominantly ended up, I think because of my weight and stuff, fighting majority of it. After like C class and B classes, it was like K1 fights.
Right.
So pretty much my career was pretty much, I used to train Muay Thai all the time, but then all my fights ended up being K1.
And at this point, is this the sort of boom? Is it Glory when they was doing like the competitions where you're fighting 3 times a night? So that was big, right?
So I think my first amateurs, I only had about, I think, 3 or 4 amateur fights, and two of them was in the tournament.
Right.
Same day.
Shit, yeah.
Yeah. Interclubs, I think I had 2 interclubs same week.
Yeah.
So I had one on a Sunday, then one on the Friday or the Saturday, whatever it was. That was dope. But yeah, man, it's like I just jumped into.
You was fully immersed straight away, sort of thing. Yeah.
Then after that, it was just like,
And where did you start training at? What was the gym you started?
So it was KO South.
Okay.
So you had KO East, which are obviously in Beckenham Green.
Been over there. Shout out the boys.
Yeah, Bill Judd, and that, and then Bradley Heason and all of them lot, and then but then KO South, you had Sam, which was my coach at the time, and then obviously Kieran, Mark was there, Wilco, Fabio, Jordan. Like at the time, they was like flying.
Right.
Like I think he had like the most number ones.
Oh really? I was proper. Okay.
Like,
where was this? KO South.
It was in Fulton Heath.
Right. Okay.
So it was in Fulton Heath at the time on Beckenham, and then he moved from there to Selhurst, and then from Selhurst they opened one in Catford. So like been moving around, and then I used to go between there. I used to come train here, and then kind of the levels started increasing, and there's nothing that like I do anything. Like as I say, if my coach tells me to do something, I'm on it. I dedicated my life to this thing. So, and for me, as mad as this might sound, is like I look at this like it's like gang, innit? So it's blood in, yeah. So it's like if I'm very like if I'm with you, I'm with you. And yeah, so we was locked in. But then as the levels started to increase, there was a few things that I wasn't really happy about, and then I just decided like it got to a point where I felt like either I stay stagnant or I make a change in order to then like evolve that further, to take that next step in my career. And yeah, man, like obviously shout out Sam, obviously that's where I started my journey, but then I felt like I got to a certain level and I needed more.
Right.
And where they was at the time, it was either he was focusing more on the commercial side and like growing the businesses, which is fine, obviously I understand. So had a conversation, and then I decided I'm gonna be over it, I'm gonna make the transition over here, or make the move over here. Linked up with Dan, Stunner, Rico, and then man, you've been flying.
That's cool,
since,
man.
man.
Yeah, and like from K1, like we call it kickboxing, right? K1 Muay Thai. So if we just, how many fights did you end up having in the kickboxing world?
I don't even know. I think I had like 16,
yeah,
16 or something.
And obviously 2 world titles at ISKA. What's the thinking behind going boxing? Is there a reason? Is it like a mission complete type thing?
Yeah, look, when I set out in my journey, I'm a big believer in manifestation and talking things out and talking things into existence. And I never put a cap on, how many world titles. I always said that I have world titles, but how many? We're gonna just keep pushing. I just said wherever my name is, I'm gonna be #1. And we started to achieve like this and more. And then I think I got to a point where I was kind of like not getting bored. So like kind of like what we said earlier, that feeling of like the flame weren't flaming as much. So when people offering names, like, so the only fight that was proper exciting to me was like I had a rematch with Sikwa. So me and Charles Sikwa, we had a fight. We call it our classical. Probably one of the best, especially like fights over here. It was a mad fight. We ended up going 6 rounds. So it was a 5-rounder. We ended up doing an extra round. That was dope, and that was quite early. So then I waited. Like obviously, he was doing his thing. He's flying. Shout out Sikwa as well. He's representing, man. He's doing his thing as well. Like that's bro as well. And then we had the rematch, and then he won the first fight. I won the second fight. But it was just like I come to realize that the only exciting thing was just like was this fight. So it's like every time I got offered the name, it's like, yeah, cool. So I said to my coach, like, alright, cool. Then I get offered the name. Yeah, cool. Like, could I fight whoever? Like, if he says to me, yeah, you got like, cool, innit? Like, I'll fight anyone you want me to fight. I'll fight, innit? Like, that's it. And then, I think he kind of realized, like, wow, that initial, like, when I was getting offered certain things, like I say, when that rematch got put on the table, it was like, yeah, that was a get up and go.
Right.
But then the other thing, I was like, oh yeah, cool. And it was like...
Flame's gone out a bit at that point,
like,
yeah.
But I was fighting for about 18 months. But I had about 18 months I was fighting with ruptured tendons. I didn't know.
The fun one here.
No, it was like, so my tendon through my...
Right,
in between
okay,
my
I've had the
knuckles.
fun one here. That's a vicious one, that's horrible, yeah.
So this one was like in my knuckles, like going up the hand. And obviously training, being in camp, hit pads, my hand ballooned. Like, and then it was constantly happening, like, and I was constantly like, my hands hurting, but I'm always in camp, innit? So I'm like, after this one,
right.
If a girl comes in, after this one, and I just knew that if I go and get it checked, they're gonna tell me you got arrested for 6 weeks. Right. You got to rest it for X amount of time.
I was going to say best case scenario, 6 weeks.
And I'm like, yeah, that ain't going to happen.
No,
man.
yeah.
So then I remember we took a fight, and if I'm honest, obviously Jersey was with us as well. Shout out Jersey, shout out Liam as well, Liam Nolan. Like the team, so we was in the camp, and then I think that fight, the last one, my last K1 fight, it was kind of like, I didn't really want to, like, I don't know, it was just like a weird one, like, but we ended up going for the fight anyway. I went for the WKU, and then again, I was just a bit switched off in the fight. It was a good fight though, it was a war. Like one thing, I always have a war, regardless. Yeah. And then I remember after that fight, flipping, my coach was like, look, you need to go and get your hand checked. And I was like, cool, went and got it checked, got ultrasounds and that. They say, yo, you got a severe rupture in your hand. So I was out for a bit, and
This is a surgery situation?
No, just before surgery. So it was a hole, but they said basically, if I don't allow it, if I don't start rehab and just like let it heal, then it's gonna basically go. So it was weird. So obviously, you know, your tendon is like here, it's like a hole like in the middle. So they said you can either sever, or it's gonna go up or down.
Yeah.
And
it's bad news. Yeah.
So I was like, cool. So I thingied it. We got in Thailand. I was training that. So I'd rested it for about. I feel like it was like 6 months. It probably wasn't.
Probably about 4 days. No.
Probably about 4 days. Exactly that. Yeah, about like 4 hours. Yeah. And I remember we was out in Thailand. Whatever. Started training, and I was hitting pads, but I had like 18-ounce gloves on. So I was like, I want to take no check, right? So I was like, do anything? No, it's not hurting. So cool. Got back. And this was October last year, and then November, I started like hitting pads properly. I had my first spar, like this play spar, and I said, all right, cool. Caught someone on the forehead. I said, all right, it's all right. And then my coach was like, Dan at the time was like, because we always spoke about boxing and stuff anyway, and he was like, in the box. I said, yeah, I wouldn't mind it actually.
Yeah.
He was like, all right, sweet, cool. He said, all right, cool. Then next session, he was like, all right, what I need you to do, I need you to go get some like proper like boxing boots and like get a proper groin guard, etc., and get a head guard. So you're gonna need a head guard. I said, ah, cool. Went and got all the gear. I had all the gear, no idea. And then he said, yeah, I got some work for you. I remember he picked me up, dropped me to Churchill's, and he's like, yeah, so you're gonna spar. He's like, don't start too fast. And I was like,
what does that mean?
And he's like, yeah. So I get in there, and he take me to spar with Chef Clark and that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm like, sweet.
Tank of a man, by the way, if you don't see Chef.
Shout out Chef, shout out everyone down at Churchill's as well.
Shout out the guys, I've been in there, I've been, Sam and Joanna's been on here, so shout out the guys.
Man. Yeah, Sam's good peoples, man. And Obed as well.
Obed, yeah.
But yeah, like, so obviously Chef was there at the time, and then, so we got the rounds in, whatever, that was good. Bust my nose, I was like, yeah, sweet. Gone from there. Then
didn't kick him or anything, didn't go,
no,
put one of them leg kicks on you, keep you honest.
I was tempted, yeah, I was tempted. And then a couple of days later, he's like, oh yeah, blah. So that cool, went down to the Bronx. Then she took me with Devon and that, with Devon Miller, shout out Devon. That's bro as well, good peoples. And then yeah, man, so like, that's pretty much how the boxing side of it, and then we just went. And then by the end of November, it was like, okay, you're fighting DKM, boom, went on there, fought. Then just kept rolling, man. And then 5-0 now, got 2 titles, got one DKM's titles, on DFC's cruiserweight title. Shout out the DFC lot as well. They're doing good things. And then now, next week, Shane Mosley undercard.
6-0. Yeah,
6-0,
I was chatting to Matty. What's his surname? Sorry, he's fighting Shane. Who's fighting Shane Mosley?
Jedi.
Yeah, right. I was talking to him the other day. Yesterday, in fact, I think it was.
Yeah,
like, he's a cool guy as well. The open workouts for Dubois, Usyk. Yeah. So like, as we're talking now, guys, we are the 19th of July. I think we are today. But 18th of July.
Yeah,
all right, let's not time travel. 18th of July. But we'll put this out next Friday, so it's quite lively. So it's out before you fight. So if we're talking about the Dubois Usyk fight, like we don't know what's going on, it's because it ain't happened yet. That's why. So it's not that we're just like we're not aware of Google or something. You know what I mean? But so with that fight card, because Shane Mosley was obviously there the other day, and I believe they're fighting at light heavyweight, is that a light heavyweight fight? Because Shane Mosley in his prime would have been like lightweight, really. Welterweight, maybe you could argue. I guess he fought Mayweather at welterweight. So he's obviously a lot older and way out of his things. Like they're the ones that with boxing, like we was talking on earlier, guys that go on too long. He was one of the guys that came to my mind as it happens, because I met Shane Mosley, and I'm sure he wouldn't remember this. This was about. I mean, this was probably 2013, somewhere around there, in McGuigan's gym in Battersea, years ago. Like, as I say, probably 2013 would be my best guess. And he did like an open workout there or whatever in a meeting thing. And then I was chatting to him because it was still within reach of like talking about the Mayweather fight type thing. It was quite a few years after, but you know, you could still talk about it like it was quite relevant. And we're chatting, and he was kind of wrapping up then. I'd like to think now, like how far gone we are on, and he's fighting again at a much heavier weight. They're the things that worry me for fighters. You know what I mean?
100%. But obviously, they got their reasons. So
That's it.
I'm just like,
And on the flip side of that, my opinion is also, so I'm kind of conflicted on it. My opinion is too, listen, he's a grown man. He's achieved so much in the sport. He's got the right to fight when he wants. Do you know what I mean? No one should be telling him that it's time to pack up if he wants to. Because listen, that's Shane Mosley. That's boxing royalty.
100%. And at the end of the day, if it makes sense for him, it makes sense. And if there's something that he wants to do, clearly, he's going to do it.
And sometimes it does just come down to he just fancies having a fucking fight, right?
100%.
And like, I don't think that, like, it's easy for us to say sitting here in our 30s, still sort of like in our physical years, if you like. But like one day hopefully we're gonna be 50, right?
1,000,000%.
And it doesn't mean we're gonna feel any different. We just might physically feel different, innit?
Listen, I think my gun's like 85 plus maybe. And listen, till now, she'll go say, and just call me, we'll go shop if you need to go shopping, and she's still like, nah, go carry the bags and like, independent, like, and it's the same thing, innit? Because you want to do something, I'm gonna do it.
Yep.
And if you got the fire, man.
That's it. And it does stick. I got a few years ago a guy who jumped out of a car at me. He was 70. Told me he was 70. I'm fucking 70. I'll do you in the car park. But giving it big. You know when you look at something, you go. A part of me was like, fair play, bro. Listen, the fire still burns. Respect. You got it. But so I guess like good luck to Shane. Good luck to both of them. But you know, Shane's a legend of the game, isn't he? Do you know what I mean? So good luck to him. But like now, obviously, we're a week away. You said you ain't got much to do with the weight. What's the week ahead look like for you? Is that much of a big deal, or is it more chilling now?
Yeah, no, I just stay active, keep training, ticking over. I'm actually going up, so I usually fight at cruiser. I think this fight's at Bridgerweight.
Right. Okay.
So I think it's like 93. Or something. So like I say, there's no weight cut for me.
So it's even more easy.
Yeah, like so. Yeah.
Not easy is the wrong word.
Like,
easy the
so
wrong
I
word.
get to this. I get to eat whatever. So I'm looking forward to it, man. You know, obviously I'm fighting Tommy Hench. He's game. People could say like, obviously, a lot of people got whatever they like. Listen, man. I just got respect for everyone, innit?
Right.
So he's being respectful. I ain't got nothing. I know that he's game. He's gonna turn up, and that's what I like.
That's it.
Do you know what I'm saying? Because I've had so much people that are like, they talk a lot, but then they don't show up. Whereas him, I know that he's gonna show up.
He's coming, yeah.
He's one of them people. So, yeah, man. Yeah,
that's cool, man. And like, what's the ambitions in boxing now? Are you staying in boxing, or is kickboxing still coming?
I'm gonna stick with boxing for now. I'm enjoying it. I'm actually really enjoying it. Actually.
Oh yeah, nice.
Yeah, really enjoying it again. So, I mean, if the opportunity makes sense and something like presents itself in kickboxing that is worthwhile, then of course. But right now, yeah, we're gonna have some fun with boxing.
Because I bumped into Badahari earlier. He reckons if you want it, you can get it. Do you know what I mean?
Get it. Don't worry, anybody can get it. He's another one. Right. Again, idols become rivals, isn't it?
That's it, mate. Yeah.
But no, man. Listen, like anything I do with like 100%. So there's like no half stepping.
Yep.
No corners will ever be cut with me. So anything I do, I want to be the best at what I do. So.
Good man, yeah. And I can see you're definitely one of the more focused people I sit down and talk to. You've got like an intensity about your look, and you're like looking through me. A part of me is going, all right, chill out, there, bro, chill out. So it's good. But what's the fight details, mate? For anyone who wants tickets, is it still about or what?
So the ticket links in my bio. July the 25th, Indigo O2, Shea Mosley undercard. Obviously, you got Reon the Beast 3 Wong versus Tommy Hench. It's going to be fireworks. The whole card, to be honest, like looking exciting.
Yep.
The whole card is looking exciting. So, but yeah, man. So next Friday we go, man.
And for anyone who hasn't been to any fight shows at the Indigo, it's always a good night out anyway. Regardless, you can. I've been to a freak show fight over there many years ago where it was like loads of mismatches. There was two, I don't know what the politically correct word is, little people fighting each other. There was two people fighting one man at one point. It was a freak show, but the show was still great because the Indigo's a great venue.
The atmosphere is always lit over there. So it's going to be a good night out. And again, obviously, it's on a Friday, so you got the whole weekend to do what you need to do, whatever. If you want to have a drink, if you don't, then even better.
Yeah, just get a Nando's and chill.
You know
get yourself over to the O2.
Yeah,
but mate, listen, this has been great, and hopefully we'll do this again at some point down the future. Man. But I always finish with the most important question of the day. Which football team you support?
Do you know what? I don't even
Chelsea, very good. Well done, my guy, top man. Always sneak that one in there. I always finish with a fist up like this, mate. Join me. Squeeze the neck. Boom! Go.